What is happening, sports fans? Happy Sunday. It is your main man, Matt, from the DFS 5-pack. I am still rocking it solo. It is Sunday, December 5th. We got Week 13 NFL to talk about. Sorry, the video is a little bit late this week for all you guys that like to watch it earlier. With NBA going on, it is a grind over here, so figured I'd wait until we got all the news, pertinent news and information and stuff. So this video will be out a few hours before the slate starts, so all you guys that can watch it, I appreciate you putting a thumbs up on it. And yeah, let's crush some NFL Week 13. Before I get into that, a couple business notes. First off, got to talk about our promoters. We got two promotions going on. First is with Jazz Sports. So if you sign up for Jazz Sports, you get a no-risk wager up to $1,000 back on your first bet. I mean, you can't beat that. $1K back if your first wager is great at a loss. Really have nothing more to say about that. It's just, you can't beat it. As far as Loose Lines goes, for those who aren't familiar, Loose Lines is an affiliate of Jazz Sports. It's a site that offers really, really good lines and odds. You get reduced juice and a ton of other perks. You also get an additional 50% off when you sign up there. So a couple really good deals right now. I suggest all you guys go check it out. I'll have the promo codes in my description and make it easy enough for you guys. Lastly, before I get into the NFL stuff, I want to talk about Ryan quickly. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about him. He's good. I'm good. We're still together. He's going to be doing a lot more of the back end stuff while I continue to pump out content. We'll probably have an official announcement sooner rather than later, but just wanted to throw that out for you guys because I know a lot of you have been asking. He's fine. I'm good. As you know, he's been doing a lot of the personal training stuff. So it's been taking a step back for DFS. So it's what we got going on right now. That being said, I got 5 guys I want to talk about, and I am excited about it. So let me screen share this, and we will dive right in. So starting at quarterback, now I think Stafford's a guy you can use in all formats, but I love him in tournaments. So not getting a ton of love, at least not projected to get a ton of love. I usually don't like using quarterbacks, for a team that's 13-point favorites. Oftentimes we see these teams get up big and then stop throwing in the second half. Well, that hasn't been the case with Stafford this year. In similar spots in week 7 and 8, he put up 30 against Detroit, 27 against Houston. I think this is a great get-right spot for Stafford and the Rams. I also like a couple of the Rams pass catchers, but when you roster Stafford, you get the best of both worlds. Assuming that, those pass catchers have really good days, Stafford's the one giving them the cookie. So I like him a lot here. Very fairly priced at $7,300. Don't think he gets a lot of love because the spread in this game is just so high and people don't really want to take the risk on rostering a quarterback, of a team that's a 13-point favorite. I love him here. My favorite tournament quarterback on the slate. And if I'm making one lineup, I'm using Stafford. Next guy I like a ton. I think this is a guy you just lock in all formats. That's going to be Jamal Williams. So with DeAndre Swift out, Williams is going to be the guy for Detroit here. I think this is a very winnable game for the Lions. The Vikings obviously missing Dalvin Cook. Vikings seem to play up and down to their competition this year. Lions still clawing for their first dub. 10 days off for Detroit here. I've always been a Williams fan. I think he's good. With DeAndre Swift out, he's going to be the main guy in this backfield. He'll catch a bunch of balls. At 5,400, he's the ultimate cog in both our cash game and tournament machines. Lock him in and move on. All right, now we get to a guy that I like a little bit more in cash games. That's going to be Antonio Gibson. So you check the game log. He's been good. I mean, coming off a really, really good game on Monday night. Carried the ball, toted 29 times for 111 yards. Had 7 catches on 7 targets. En route to, 27 DK points. Nothing not to like there. Now in another really good spot in Vegas against the Raiders, J.D. McKissic out. He is a cash game, pretty square, a guy that's going to get a ton of love. You don't have to fade him in tournaments, but I also don't think he's the lock there like he is in cash games. A bunch of good running backs on this slate is the only reason why I wouldn't play him in tournaments. But in cash games, given the ownership, you just plug him in and move on with your life. All right, now I get to a guy I really like in tournaments, and that's going to be my boy, Laquan Treadwell. So still flying way under the radar. This guy's been in the league a long time. Coming off a week in which he had 8 targets, caught 4 balls, now facing a Rams team in which I mentioned earlier, they're 13-point dogs. Treadwell looks to be a guy that Trevor Lawrence has kind of taken they've kind of built a rapport together. And at 3,200, I mean, almost min price. You don't find many receivers cheaper than this. I think Treadwell's got legit upside here. I mean, if he replicates the game he had last game with 4 catches and 53 yards, you're fine at this price point. Imagine if he gets in the box or he adds 3 more catches to the score. I like Treadwell a ton in a game that the Jags are presumably going to be throwing a lot. And at 3,200, it's basically risk-free. All right, last but not least, my man, the DFS Patriot, got me on Goddard last night when we made our members-only video. I just like him a lot. He's my favorite tight end on the board. Coming off a very lackluster week against the Giants last week. It wasn't a ton of offense in that game. Only caught 1 ball on 3 targets. I like him a lot here. Now you've got Gardner Minshew starting for Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to use Goddard as his security blanket. We saw Minshew in the past with the Jags use his tight end a lot. Never had a tight end as good as Goddard. So now with a legit stud number 1 tight end, I think Minshew peppers him today in a very winnable game for Philly. They're 5-point favorites on the road, very fairly priced at 4,500. I like Goddard a ton here. And with other expensive tight ends getting love and cheaper tight ends that people are using as fillers, he's not getting the ownership that he deserves. And as I mentioned, he is my favorite tight end on the board. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Short and sweet today. I want to get this out so you guys have time to watch it. If you have any questions, holler at me. If you want more content, more videos, more write-ups, any of that fun stuff, go holler. Go check out the DFS5pack.com today. We'd love to have you. Let's get this week 13, guys, and we'll be back tomorrow for some NBA info. Thanks again. Have a great weekend, a great rest of your weekend, a great Sunday.